Do you think, is it all hype that's being talked about on agentic AI? Because when I think about this 30 to 50 stack for a $200 million company, that's complex. We have less tools in development organizations pumping out code, possibly for a $200 million company, than what you're saying on the revenue upside, how many tools they have to handle. And on the development side, we have engineers, more process driven and structured and data driven than when you think about sales organization traditionally. So do you see AI is going to simplify this thing, or is it going to add more to the complexity?
Honestly, it's a bit of both. And so the reason why I say that is if you think about AI as it stands today with the fantastic platforms that are emerging, they offer a huge amount of functionality and a lot of ease. So you can drive automation, you can refactor roles into a certain extent, and that's going to be a lot of ease of use right across the go-to-market stack. The difficulty that's going to bring in is going to be around what level of data requirements are required from the AI vendor, and then also what sort of policies are in place, both from a data compliance, privacy, and security perspective when being implemented. And I say that because I've seen a lot of tools where they go, this is great, here are the requirements, and the data requirements of the company are not necessarily in the right frame of mind, so to speak, or the data governance isn't really there to achieve what's needed. And that can create bad reviews, bad experiences, etc. My biggest takeaway so far with the experience that I've had with AI and the studies that I've been looking at and sort of doing myself really is whatever pilot POC you put in, you need to ensure you have a clearly defined use case as to what you're trying to achieve with it, and then making sure that the data requirements match what you have today, or the uplift to get there isn't as much as it would need to be.
But is it fair to say that you will need more engineer on the revenue side, that revenue engineering, which has been a buzzword, but unless you have structured thinking, because when you're trying to deploy an agent, you need a relatively high degree of skill set, and that agent has to evolve. So you can't not just deploy and walk away. What is your take of tech requirement in a CRO organization?
I'm so glad you said that. So it is higher, it is increased. And I know there are a lot of reports at the moment from the industry analysts saying that tech spend is being increased. But with that, you have to have the people to support it. And for me, you hit the nail on the head. You can't just say, oh, we've implemented it, it's done, thank you very much. You have to maintain, you have to iterate. For me, that's a principle within any platform or solution that you implement, but that's definitely true with AI because it has to learn whether it's a blended model, whether you're either leveraging an existing LLM or a proprietary one, or even using your own, that has to be maintained and updated. And I think one of the big things we'll see in RevOps over the coming months, in the next 2 years, is how that role of a RevOps engineer is starting to become a thing and exist, especially where prompt engineering is starting to grow quite rapidly as well.